Hello, my name is Yuma Danso, the CEO of Yuma Tax Services. Today, I am going to be talking to you guys about something called Identity Protection Pin, also known as IP Pin. So you will be hearing me say IP Pin instead of the actual word. So what is an IP Pin? So tax season is around the corner. To you is not, to me it is. And in order to have an effective tax season, you have to plan ahead of time. So I am giving you this knowledge so that you guys can also do it so you can prepare for tax season. So what is an IP pin? An IP pin is a 6-digit pin or code or number that the IRS issued to a taxpayer every year. So every year you get this number. It's different every year. That number, if you do apply for it, is required to be added to your tax return. If not, the return will be rejected. So basically, this pin protects you, your dependent, from having the wrong person use your Social Security to file a tax return. Because believe it or not, a lot of people go through identity theft where someone just happens to file their use their Social Security to file a tax return, or you would use their dependent information to file their tax return. And you know what stops that? Getting an IP pin. Get an IP pin for you and your loved one to stop anyone from being able to file your tax return. I'm a tax professional, and when I tell you, every year I have situation where a client is not able to file their dependent because someone else filed their return. Or let's just say the baby mama or the baby daddy decides that, oh, I'm going to file that return just to be trifling or to be petty. You can stop all that because this is what you're going to do. I'm not going to keep going back and forth with you, okay? What I'm going to do is I'm just going to go to IRS, get this IP pin. In that case, I don't got to do this with you no more. You know what? Because in order for you to find my child, you need that code. And to get that code, only I know that code. So that's why it's very important to get that IP pin, because I run into that so much. Because I remember I had a client last year, or this tax season, and literally she had like 4 kids. When I gave her the estimate, the total refund amount was like up to like $14,000, $15,000. But when I put it in, the trifling daddy, as she say, that never took care of the kids, filed the kids. And now she was only stuck with one child that was like over 18 years old. So guess what happened? She went from 14,000 to like 2,000. And I'm telling her, like, okay, basically what the father did was, as soon as tax season started, he ran to go file them kids. See, if you have that IP pin, you don't have to get up and go file. You don't have to be an early bird in order to file your child. All you need to do is get an IP pin, and that way, whenever you're ready to file your tax return, you can go file your tax return without having to fear that someone, or the baby daddy or the baby mama, might file your dependent. So I am going to actually give you a tutorial on how to do this. So give me 1 second to switch over to my computer, and I'm going to give you guys a quick tour of how to do it. What you do is you go to the irs.gov website, and then once you're there, you will search the IP pin on the search box. And the first thing that you see, which is get an identity protection pin, is what you're going to click. Once you click on it, it's going to give you more information. It says, an identity protection pin is a 6-digit number that prevents someone else from filing a tax return using your Social Security or individual tax identification number. An individual taxpayer identification number is the same as a Social Security. Like those that don't have a Social Security number will get this number in order to be able to file their tax return. So, like I said, the IBPN is known only to you and the IRS. So, if you don't share that to your trifling baby mama, your baby daddy, they're not gonna know that. Okay, only you know it. Okay. It helps us verify your identity when you file your electronic or paper tax return. Even though you may not have a final requirement, IBPN still protects your account. Even if you're not required to file a tax return, I recommend that you still get it in case your Social Security lands in the wrong hand. One thing they're not going to be able to do is what? File your tax return because you have put an IBPN on your Social Security number. So there's two ways to get this IBPN. You can either get it through online by clicking this link, or you can do the paper version of it, which is this form right here. But I'm going to go into the online version. So once you click on it, it's going to take you to this page. So you can either create an ID.me account, or you can sign in with the ID.me account if you have that. Last year, I was pushing everyone to get that done because of the child tax credit thing. But it's pretty easy to get it done because all you need is just your ID and a cell phone in order to be able to take a selfie. That's all you will need. And if you don't have an ID.me account and instead you have an IRS login portal credential, you can log in through here. But once you get into the portal, it's pretty easy. Just answer a few questions, and then you will get that IBPN within seconds. And then you basically use that IBPN for the current year tax season or previous year tax return. So basically, whenever you do anything with your tax return, you have to put that IBPN. If not, your return will be rejected. And most likely, if you're using a software or a tax preparer, your tax professional will be able to tell you, hey, your return was rejected because you didn't provide me your IBPN. In that case, you would just come back here, log in here, and get that IBPN and give that to your tax professional. So if you're not successful in getting through it online, which you're only able to use this online portal if it's the taxpayer. If you are getting it for a dependent, in that case, you will have to fill out the application. And the application is pretty easy. It's like, this is a few questions to ask for. This is how it looks like. We're going to actually discuss it over here. So, right here, what it says. So, in order to, you would need this application. You only fill out this application if, one, you're not able to get it through the online portal, and two, it is for a dependent. So, we're going to first fill it out as if it being a dependent. So what you would do is put your last name over here, first name, your middle name or initial, your current mailing address, your city, your state, your zip code. This box is what's important, okay? If you are filling this out for yourself, you will select no. If it is for a dependent, that's when you will click the box yes. So please make sure you check mark the right box, because putting the wrong check mark could lead to the wrong person getting that IBPN. Like I said, if it's for a dependent, you would click yes. And if it's yes, that means instead of putting your name in over here, you will put your dependent's last name, first name, middle name. Okay? And then you click yes. And if it's for yourself, you put your name, first name, middle name, and click no. Then you put your Social Security number here or your item, whichever you have. You will put that number over here. You provide your phone number because they will be giving you a call to confirm this. And then also English or Spanish, choose your language preference. And then once you're done filling out this above highlighted area, print the application out, print your name over here, and then put a date, today's date, on the day that you completed the return. How do you submit this return? Pretty easy. You can either mail it in, this is the address right here, or you can either This is the mailing address. You can either mail it in or you can submit it by fax, and this is the fax number right here. So what do you need? So let's go over it one more time. And it basically gives you a brief instruction over here, so you guys won't have a problem with it. But it's more so last name, first name, middle name. If you're doing it for your tax person, for yourself, you put your information in. If it's for a dependent, you will put the dependent information over here. Okay? What is it I want to go into? I think that was it. Yeah. So make sure you get the IP pin. Yeah, it's very important to get the IP pin. What do you need? If you're doing it online, you don't really need to attach anything. Just ask a few questions and you get it within seconds. But if you are mailing it in or faxing it, I would recommend that you put in your dependents or your ID. If you're doing it for yourself, you just put in your ID or your social security number or your birth certificate. But if you're doing it for a dependent, make sure you put that birth certificate on there, so that they could know that you are the guardian or parent of that dependent. And if you wanna, you can even add additional evidence as your dependent's school records, anything that will be able to show IRS that you are the legal guardian and you are, you are supposed to be filing this dependent. And that's it. And you should be getting that in within, I want to say 2 to 3 weeks. Depending with with Corona, everything has exceeded its time. But that's it. But thank you again for joining me. Thank you and bye.